I used to love long drives. Just me, the open road, and whatever came on the radio. It was therapeutic, a way to clear my head after stressful weeks. But after what happened on Highway 39 last November, I can't even turn on a car radio without my hands shaking. Let me tell you why you should never, ever stop on AM 1577. It was around 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was driving back from a conference in Denver, taking the long route through rural Wyoming because I actually enjoyed the solitude. The highway was empty, just miles of darkness and the occasional set of distant headlights. I'd been flipping through radio stations for the past hour, getting nothing but static and the occasional fragment of late-night talk radio. That's normal out there. The stations are spread far apart and the signal comes and goes. But then I hit 1577 on the AM dial. At first, it was just a tone, a steady, high-pitched beep like you'd hear in a hearing test. Then a woman's voice came through, crystal clear despite the remote location.
731-992. 731-992. Same numbers, same inflection, same mechanical delivery. I recognized it immediately. Number stations. I'd fallen down that rabbit hole on YouTube once, these mysterious radio broadcasts that have been around since the Cold War, supposedly used for communicating with spies. They're real, well-documented, and completely legal, even though no one officially claims them. But here's the thing. Number stations broadcast on shortwave, not AM radio, and they definitely don't broadcast on random highways in Wyoming.
I was about to change the station when the voice changed its pattern. 731-991. The last number had decreased by 1. Then 731-990. It was counting down. I don't know why I didn't just change the station. Curiosity, I guess. I wanted to know what would happen when it reached 0. So I kept driving, kept listening as the countdown continued.
7, 3, 1, 9, 8, 9, 7, 3, 1, 9, 8, 8. It was slow, each number sequence taking about 15 seconds. At that rate, it would take hours to reach 0. But something about the mechanical precision of it, the absolute certainty in that voice, kept me hooked. Around 3 a.m., I passed a road sign. Next services, 47 miles. The radio immediately responded. 4, 7 miles. Then it resumed the countdown. My skin went cold. That had to be a coincidence. The voice had been reading numbers for an hour. Eventually, those numbers would match something in the real world. 10 minutes later, another sign. Bridge construction ahead, 3.1 miles. The radio, 3.1 miles. Then back to the countdown. Okay, not a coincidence. I should have turned off the radio. I should have found a different station, but I didn't. I needed to understand what this was, how it was tracking my location, how it knew what I was seeing. The countdown continued, slower now, as if it was deliberately stretching out the inevitable. 7, 3, 1, 8, 0, 0. 7, 3, 1, 7, 9, 9. Then the voice changed completely, not the tone or the delivery, but what it was saying. You're driving a 2017 Honda Civic, silver.
license plate Charlie Delta 7392. That was my car. My exact car. My exact license plate. You're alone. You've been alone for 137 miles.
My hands tightened on the steering wheel. There is no next services in 47 miles. There is no bridge construction. Those signs were not real. I looked in my rearview mirror. The road behind me was empty. When I looked forward again, the highway seemed different, darker. The painted lines were fading in and out of existence in my peripheral vision. The radio continued. You are not on Highway 39. You haven't been for 36 miles. You are nowhere that appears on any map, and the countdown is almost complete. 7, 3, 1, 5, 0, 0, 7, 3, 1, 4, 9, 9. I slammed on the brakes. The car screeched to a stop in the middle of the empty highway. I was going to turn around, drive back the way I came, get back to somewhere real. But when I looked behind me, the road was gone. Not dark, not hidden, gone. There was just empty space where asphalt should have been, like the road was being erased as I drove forward. The radio kept counting.
7, 3, 1, 3, 0, 0. 7, 3, 1, 2, 0, 0. I punched the gas and drove forward. What else could I do? There was nowhere to go but ahead. The highway started to change. The painted lines were definitely disappearing now, flickering in and out like a bad video game texture. The darkness beyond the road seemed thicker, more solid, like it was pressing in. 7, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0. My headlights were flickering. The dashboard lights were dimming. 7, 3, 1, 0, 0, 0. Everything went dark except for the radio, which glowed with an impossible brightness. 7, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0. The voice stopped. For 10 seconds there was only silence in that steady carrier tone. Then,
You have arrived at your destination. My headlights came back on. I was parked on the shoulder of Highway 39, exactly where I should be according to my GPS. The road was normal. The lines were painted. Everything looked right. But according to my car's clock, 4 hours had passed. 4 hours I couldn't account for. 4 hours of driving through nowhere, listening to a countdown that led exactly nowhere.
I didn't drive straight home. I stopped at the first town I found, a small place called Riverside, population 312, and checked into a motel. I needed to process what had happened, to convince myself I'd just fallen asleep at the wheel and dreamed the whole thing. But I couldn't explain the time. 4 missing hours. My GPS showed a continuous route. No stops, no deviations, just a straight line down Highway 39. Except for one thing. When I zoomed in on the GPS history, there was a gap. A 36-mile stretch where the route line was dotted instead of solid, like the GPS had lost signal, like I'd been somewhere it couldn't track.
I've done some research since then. I've found others who've experienced something similar. Different highways, different states, but always the same pattern. An AM frequency that shouldn't exist, a countdown, a voice that knows too much, and missing time. Some people think it's a government experiment. Some think it's aliens. Some think it's a glitch in reality itself, like the universe is running a simulation and sometimes the code breaks down.
I don't know what it is, but I know this. Those numbers weren't random. 7, 3, 1. 731 is the area code for Western Tennessee. 992.
992 is the emergency services number in Pakistan. The rest of the numbers, the countdown, I've tried to decode them. I've tried every cipher, every pattern recognition algorithm I can find. Nothing makes sense, except for the final sequence. 7, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0. I looked up what happened on July 30th, 000 hours, midnight between July 29th and 30th. Nothing significant, nothing I could find. But that was 3 months ago. July 30th this year is in 3 weeks.
I still drive long distances sometimes. I tell myself I'm not afraid, that it was just a one-time thing. A hallucination brought on by exhaustion and isolation. But I never turn on the AM radio anymore. I can't risk finding 1577 again, because here's what really keeps me up at night. What if the countdown wasn't for me? What if I just happened to tune in during someone else's broadcast? What if somewhere out there, someone else is driving through nowhere listening to a voice count down to 0, with no idea what happens when it stops? Or worse, what if the countdown was for everyone? What if 1577 is always broadcasting, always counting down, and we're all headed toward the same destination?
I don't know, and I'm not sure I want to find out. All I know is this. If you're ever driving late at night and you're flipping through stations and you land on a frequency that shouldn't exist, broadcasting numbers that sound too clear, too precise, too deliberate, just keep driving. Don't stop. Don't listen. And whatever you do, don't wait to hear what happens when it reaches 0.